how to do an import of many records into the contact screen of Speaker Compass. Choose the Control button, Import. You're given the option first of importing just one simple address card or many contacts. So choose Contacts. Now you can enter a tag which will appear on all of the records that you import. This is a good way to be able to access the records later, or if you're importing a special set of records from a source that you want to record. So enter whatever the tag would be. This warning says the personal email will be marked as main email for this import. So if given the option, choose the personal email field for import, not work. If the import has two email fields, you want to choose the one that's marked as personal. Now it's time to find the records. I can do a search here for fake, and there it is right there. Now, if for some reason this is ghosted, you might have to change this show tag. For example, it's set to FileMaker Profiles, then this would be ghosted. You can't select it. So we'll choose comma separated values. So now I can select that and choose Open. This is the import mapping window. This shows the source files on the left and the fields that they will be imported into on the right. We're importing into the contacts table, it says here. Now we're adding. This should always be set to add, not update or replace if you're doing a new import. Clicking through these arrows will show the data. Oftentimes the first data record will contain the names of the fields, as this one does here. The green mapping button means that the field will be imported. If you don't want to import the field, then set it to gray, don't import. Now here is where the email field is. It's set to import. Now notice that on the set of records, it's set to import into the email personal, but I can scroll through and choose any field that I want to import it to. So there is an email work field which I could select, but in this case we were warned not to. So we've got email personal selected. We can browse through the arrows to make sure the data is all lined up. It looks like it's all going to appear there. One more thing about the data that's over here in this column. The field delimiter will control how the fields are separated. If for some reason that would be set to comma, all of the data is all jammed up into one field now because it's not being separated correctly. So make sure you've got the correct field delimiter separated. In this case, it was tab delimited, not comma separated. One more important issue, make sure that this checkbox right here, perform auto enter options for fields, make sure that that is checked. In some cases, if a field isn't selected, like email work, then you'll get a dash instead of a check mark, but just choose a check mark so that everything is set. That means all these fields will be imported correctly and the behind the scenes work will be done. So choose import. There it is, 500 records have been imported. Now, as you can see, the current set of records, which is in the middle, is 500. The full record count is 501, so there was one record in here originally. And I can click through and view all the records now. I'm going backwards through the list to make sure that all the data in the fields is all lined up correctly. Also notice that the personal email field is set as main email. That was what the script did. If for some reason you had another email in here and you want to mark that as the main email to use, then you could just change that star setting. So it looks like all of the records are correct. You notice that all of these records are marked with this temporary checkbox here. That means that we can always find them again currently if this temporary checkbox is marked. Now let's check the tags. So you can browse through here and see that all the current tags are set as fake contacts. That's permanent, so I can always find those records again. In contrast, this is just a temporary marker. So it looks like all of the records have been imported correctly. And that's how an import is done in the contact screen on Speaker Compass.